you said that your people have been fighting for 400 years.
Man, your peoples too.
So I just want you to explain what you mean by that.
You know what I'm talking about. Y'all all know what I'm talking about, man. Don't sit up here and try to bait and not know what I'm talking about. Y'all know what the fuck I talk about when I say these things. Your people too.
Explain it. Not everybody knows what you're talking about.
Radio Raheem, I don't have to explain what's understood, man. You know what I mean by that. You know what I say by that. I ain't got to go further. And if anybody don't understand that, then God be with them. Go look up the history. Go look up the history. Shit, don't everybody believe in Google? Go Google that shit. See what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about, man. You know what. I dare you to sit up there and say, explain. You know what I'm talking about, man. He's fighting people. You know we've been fighting 400 and still fighting to this day. To this day. To this day.
What's up, y'all? Back again today with a very special video. So today, I want to do a quick video. I don't want to take too much of your time, but that video you just watched, that clip you just watched, was undefeated at the moment heavyweight champion Deontay Wilder addressing a reporter. Now, when I saw that video this morning, it struck me very deeply, and I wanted to make a video on it. I wanted to give my perspective on a few things, go dive deep into a little bit. So, first off top, when I saw that, I just was automatically overwhelmed with a great sense of pride. Why? Because there's not enough people, in my perspective, in today's society that are standing up for injustice in many regards. Now, there are people who stick up for certain injustices, quote unquote. There are a large group of people who stand up for crimes against homosexuals. There are groups for people stand up against drunk drivers, moms against drunk driving, for instance. There's commercials to stop cigarette smoking. There's commercials to stop animal abuse. But I don't see any commercials or anyone speaking about the injustices that have happened to black people or that are happening to black people. And when we do speak about the injustices that have happened to black people or that are happening to black people, I find that many people have the tendency to tell us to get over it, for lack of a better words. And in other words, they tell us to get over it. In their own sophisticated way, they tell us that we need to pull ourselves up by the bootstraps. They tell us it was so long ago. They tell us that it had nothing to do with us. They tell us that it doesn't affect them. They tell us that they didn't own slaves, so they shouldn't feel guilty or they shouldn't speak out about it. They tell us that we're complaining. They tell us that everybody's been through some type of slavery. These are the number of things that they tell us to seemingly justify or explain why these injustices have happened to us, but they don't spend nearly as much energy trying to understand, rectify, or apologize for the things that have happened to us. So furthermore, this is why I label my video Dear Uncle Tom, because we already understand that there's going to be a group of non-black people who are bent and focused on not understanding us. They are focused on justifying our oppression. Because you have to understand how racism works. The way racism stays alive is you have to pass it down to your children. How do you pass it down to your children? You have to, through media manipulation, through word of mouth, through propaganda, and lies and deceit, you have to paint the narrative that black people are somehow subhuman. They are somehow worthy of the negative things that happen to them. So what this does is, that's why you see the movies where we always have this big old gold chain on, and you see this big old gold tooth, tattoos on his neck. He's wearing a wife beater. He's real dark. He's got the gun, the gangster in the movie. They always paint that narrative and put us as gangsters and thugs and hoodie wearing criminals, because they need to justify and they need to basically solidify the bigotry in their head. So when they go to sleep at night, they can say, ah, yes, that's why those niggers get punished, because they did that. That's why they're getting shot down in the street. Because if you saw an honest human being with a heart that was getting shot down in the street, that was getting hung, castrated, separated from the families, these type of things, you wouldn't react like that. But it's only because subconsciously we've been taught to believe that black people are somehow deserving of this pain. So again, I say that backstory to say why I've come to the conclusion I understand why people who are non-black try to justify what has happened to us. But it makes it 10 times worse when a person who is black, another grown black man, looking at another grown black man and telling him he doesn't understand what he means about 400 years of slavery. That's why Brother Deontay got upset, because 400 years of slavery is not just a physical slavery, it's 400 years of torment. Because if you are unaware, it is reported and alleged that the first slaves, quote unquote, were brought to the United States in 1619. The first documents of quote-unquote black slaves were documented in the year 1619. This is significant because 2019 will make 400 years. So this is why we heard about Kanye West and his 400 years comment. The video I showed you just now with Deontay Wilder, he's saying 400 years we've been fighting. So this other black man is telling him, I don't understand what you mean 400 years. And this is not just that reporter. And I want to quickly explain why the reporter did that. There's only 2 reasons why a person would be an Uncle Tom. The first reason is because he's disillusioned himself or been indoctrinated to the point where he actually believes that he is separate from other black people, and he is seen as separate from other black people if he associates with white people enough. So the first example is someone who believes that if he associates with enough white people, if he speaks in enough tones in a demeanor that white people speak in, if he dresses how white people dress, now of course these are stereotypes, but we understand what I'm saying. If he just can try his best to imitate a white person and stay away from as many black people as he can, he will then be accepted as a black person. This is the mind frame of the first Uncle Tom. The second Uncle Tom is simply scared. He simply has come to the point where he realizes he's seen what's happened to Malcolm X, he's seen what's happened to Martin Luther King, he's seen what's happened to Huey Newton, he's seen what's happened to a number of people who speak out and who are either killed, ostracized, or blackballed. And therefore, he's decided to assimilate into the white supremacist structure by any means necessary. So that's why when you saw that reporter acting like he didn't understand what Deontay Wilder was saying about 400 years of oppression, Deontay got mad because he took his glasses off and was like, really, bro? You're really going to say you don't understand why I'm upset about our people's fighting? So this is what I wanted to make this video about, because when I went on Brother Deontay's Instagram page, and I'm going to put a link for Brother Deontay's Instagram page, I want you to check it out. It's almost comical, the divide in the comment section. Now, this is supposed to be the United States of America. Color's not supposed to matter. Racism's supposed to be over. But if you go to the comment section in Deontay Wilder's Instagram right now on that video, you'll see a clear divide where all of the black people are saying, you're a hero for this, you're courageous, you're brave, you're intellectual, we support you for this. And basically all of the white people are saying, I can't believe you're complaining so much, you're a crybaby, I'm no longer a fan, I'm unfollowing you, why are you complaining, you're doing this to sell fights. And to me, it just was comical to look at the comments to see, wow, literally the divide in America is so thick that you can just cut it with a knife. And we seriously walk around every day acting like it's not a thing. So when I start my channel, when I speak like this, people act like I'm beating a dead horse. People act like I'm just speaking so archaic. I'm just so old school because I'm speaking about racism. And when have we ever justified? When have we ever rectified the atrocities that have happened to black people? And why should I remember the Holocaust and revere the Holocaust? Why should I be so ashamed of the things that have happened to the Holocaust? And why should we teach the things of the Holocaust constantly? And why should I remember September 11th? And why should we have gone to war for September 11th if we are just supposed to always be the bigger man? Because that's what's told to black people. Just, you know how many times I've been told as a black person to just be the bigger man, just get over it. It has nothing to do with you. Yes, they did this to you. Yes, they've completely built a country that was built on your blood, sweat, and tears, and your families and your ancestors' torment. And yes, they have built financial structures that have put them in place to secure themselves and their families for lifelong and for generations to come. And while you're struggling in a rat and roach infested apartment, yes, that's true, but just be the bigger man. Why is that? But with the Holocaust, we have to remember it. With 9/11, we have to remember it. So with that being said, of course, I don't want to take too much of your time, but I wanted to tell Deontay Wilder and anybody else, Colin Kaepernick, anyone else, from Muhammad Ali all the way back, continue to stand up for black people, because as black men, we are the soldiers of this planet, and we are here to restore righteousness. So with that being said, I need you to please vibrate higher.
You said that your people have been fighting for 400 years.
Man, your peoples too.
So I just want you to explain what you mean by that.
You know what I'm talking about. Y'all all know what I'm talking about, man. Don't sit up here and try to bait and not know what I'm talking about. Y'all know what the fuck I talk about when I say these things. Your people too.
Explain it. Not everybody knows what you're talking about.
Radio Raheem, I don't have to explain what's understood, man. You know what I mean by that. You know what I said by that. I ain't got to go further. And if anybody don't understand that, then God be with them. Go look up the history. Go look up the history. Shit, don't everybody believe in Google? Go Google that shit. See what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about, man. You know what. I dare you to sit up there and say, explain. You know what I'm talking about, man. He's fighting people. You know we've been fighting 400 and still fighting to this day. To this day. To this day.